The fight against the specter of the Salt Blades left RaRa gravely injured, with a crossbow bolt in her belly, nowhere near any vital organs, so she sought the aid of Brother Alric to recover her strength. Moss hoisted her companion into the air and carried her to the temple, before she left her in the care of the holy man and Fizzi. RaRa endured a delicate procedure that lasted a grueling 15 seconds. But though Brother Alric's simple and mundane treatment, she was made whole again. Moss and Kayth wandered out into Tapas and headed for the Mystic Haven, a magic shop run by the enigmatic elf Elara Windrider. The familiar and flirtatious exchange between Kayth and the shopkeep stunned Moss and forced her to interrupt. Though Alara's assistance and Kayth's generosity, Moss obtained a potion of healing. Our party reconvened at the quest board, where they collected information on two new requests for aid. The first, to chase off a troublesome owlbear, and the second, to deal with wandering undead in the Darkwood. Ultimately, they decided to postpone their new task to investigate the thieves in the marketplace. After a brief search, Kayth and Fizzi came upon a suspicious pair of boots. The thief was caught in the act. A stray wagon interrupted the thief's operation and sent our heroes on a wild chase through the alleys of Tapas. Beggars, giant glass windows, and hungry dogs slowed the party and their prey, but with a toss of his dagger, Kayth brought the perpetrator to heel, wink, while RaRa ignored her own wounds to keep the thief alive. The pale, blonde woman they apprehended was turned over to the city guard, who recognized the broken gold coin found on her person as the calling card of the Shattered Coin, another branch of organized crime in Tapas. With the promise of compensation for their aid, Kayth and the others set off to purchase supplies for their long journey to the Darkwood. They returned to the Sailor's Rest with their newly acquired mule and cart, and decided to leave first thing the following day. While he tried to explain, following day, alone, RaRa and Fizzi shared all they knew about the Shadowed Hand and their corrupt involvement with the Elven government with Moss. Moss struggled to reconcile the new information about her friend, and she ran upstairs to confront Kayth in an effort to understand. While he tried to explain, his pain was clear, and he struggled to open up. Shut down, Moss left him to his requested solitude and rejoined the others. What will our adventurers encounter on their journey to the Darkwood? Will they find proof that owlbears are, in fact, real creatures? What retribution might be coming from Tapas's criminal organizations? Most importantly, how will they strengthen their bonds with each other so that each of them can call the other friend? Roll intro. Whatever it is, we don't know yet. But intro roll. Dun, dun.
One tiny mishap there from the lore keeper.
What's that?
Moss returned to her room, not to the group.
Well, then return to the room she shall.
Yeah, it was in my room.
Yeah, oh, you my womb.
Yeah.
That's okay. Totally fine. So, let's go ahead and begin our adventure with, sort of where everybody is. Kayth is alone in his room. RaRa and Fizzi are still downstairs in the tavern, and Moss is in her room, I assume preparing for bed. Go ahead and... Actually, let's start with RaRa and Fizzi. You guys are still downstairs in the tavern. What's going on?
I'm drinking my second wine.
Okay. Nice.
Fizzi'd probably be on another glass of ale, or pint of ale.
on another pint of ale, of course. The two of you will be doing that. Now, the tavern itself is... It's not as busy as it was last night. It's actually... You guys actually came back a little early, if I remember. So it's not, like, popping off too much right now, but there is a good amount of patrons, but there's no music going on tonight. So the two of you are sort of at your table just drinking and talking?
Yeah, probably not about anything specific, though.
Makes sense. Making some small talk. Okay. Moss, you went to your room to head to sleep after being told to leave or asked to leave by Kayth. What is going on with Moss right now?
I think right now she's really confused. So she's probably just very uneasy and like. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
I was just seeing if I could put these on yet.
And she's not really sure who to trust, and she's kind of questioning if all elves are technically bad, if she's bad, and that's why she is the way she is.
Very interesting. Because for those of you who don't know, Moss is half-elf.
Half bad.
Half bad.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Kayth, you, after just having a sort of deep conversation with Moss, sent her away and are now in your room alone. What's going on?
Kayth is sort of pacing around the room, trying to get his head into this book, but he can't really focus on that currently. So he's gonna open the window to the room and sneak out.
Where is Kayth looking to go?
Outside of town, a nice tree. Needs to
Alright.
get out of this area, I guess.
That is doable. As you make your way further away from the city and outside into the nearby forest, the sounds of the city and its people and nightlife fades as all that remains is the forest.
And I'm gonna try to search for some place in the forest I can settle down for the night with my bedroll and things.
Give me a survival check. Would you start a fire at all to keep warm or no?
Yeah, I'm setting up camp somewhere away from everything.
You will start a fire and you will sort of begin to do what you can to trance, and you are out here in the forest alone. Back at the tavern, RaRa and Fizzi, you guys will probably drink a little while longer, and I have to assume, unless otherwise told, that the two of you will eventually adjourn to your rooms.
So,
Go ahead.
After RaRa finishes her second drink and notices that Moss hasn't come back, she would probably actually go look for her.
Okay. Moss, you hear a knocking on your door.
That's my room, too.
Yeah, she doesn't
Just
have
kidding.
to knock.
You walk in to that room, girl. Let me get nighttime.
Yeah, I'd get up and I'd be like, Good night, Fizzi. I've got business to take care of.
Good night, RaRa. See you in the morning.
And then I would go up and go to the room.
Okay. You do that. Moss, you watch as the door opens and a stumbling RaRa walks in.
What's going on? What's the scene in the room, Moss? Are you deep in meditation? Are you in a chair somewhere? What's going on?
I think that the probably really loud guided meditation is just on. But I'm probably just laying in my bed, just staring at the ceiling.
The bed with the pillow wall in it.
Yeah, with the pillow wall.
RaRa will stumble in. For now, she's going to forego her bed prep activities. She's just going to fall on her half of the bed.
Okay.
Moss is gonna peek over the pillow walls. You didn't do your nighttime.
Oh, I still have to. Have you done the grape alcohol drink?
No,
It's all right. It's sweet.
that sounds right up your alley. You should ask next time if they have like a melon one. You like melon?
Ah.
Yeah.
Kayth never lets me get the ones from the behind the bar, though.
Do you think elves are bad?
I don't know. That's just what my mom said. You and Kayth seem kind of all right. I mean, Kayth kills guys, but
Yeah. I don't know either. I've never met a bad elf.
how many elves have you met? I mean, you're got some elf in you, right?
Yeah. My mom is an elf. And there are elves in Ashen. And that's pretty much it. I mean, I've never left.
Well, I mean, it takes all kinds, right? Like, I'm sure there's for every bad elf, there's probably a good elf.
I guess you're right. Are we doing this nighttime dance?
Oh, no, I'm not ready to go through all that yet. Just kind of want to lay here for a minute. My head's kind of spinning.
Too much grape drink.
Maybe.
Okay. Well,
My back kind of hurts too.
from being carried like a sweet little baby.
No, I think it's mostly from trying to trip that guy and hitting the street.
I didn't see that. But I saw you after. It's not funny. It's funny now, I think.
Yeah, it worked out, I think.
Yeah. You saved them. I know they were gonna die. So, thanks. Good night.
And RaRa would lay there for a couple minutes, and then she'd be like, "Moss,
Yeah. Yeah.
do you remember when you were telling me about not feeling like you had a place with your family and not fitting in?
Yeah.
And I told you I got it, right?
You might have said that.
I didn't mean that. Like, I understand where you're coming from.
Honestly, I believe that. Thanks.
My my parents, my mother mostly, put a lot of pressure on me to, like, she'd be like, RaRa, if you're gonna be a little monster like that, then you need to at least, do something that brings some beauty to the world.
Well, I think you do that.
And then, you know, I don't know, it's kind of a weird spot for me. Like, everybody's always been competing with me, at least people outside of my family. So when I was in the bucket earlier and you came by, I thought I was going to get yelled at, but you didn't encourage me to get up, and that felt pretty good.
Well, I'm glad I could help. And I don't think any of us would yell at you. Except Kayth. Kayth might yell at you. But I think that deep down, he's coming from a good place. He seems like he's trying to protect us all.
If you ever need help with, like, magic and stuff, and now RaRa will peek over the pillow wall.
I look away.
You know, I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you. I'll probably take you up on that.
Okay, I'm gonna go soak for a while.
Okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Try again. Good night.
Good night.
RaRa and Moss will fall asleep. Fizzi will have gone to bed, I think, and fallen asleep.
Fizzi, there's no one in our room when you get
Fizzi has drinking a lot of ale, does he notice?
There's no one sitting in the chair looking directly at the door when you walk in.
DM, what do you want me to roll to see if I notice?
A perception check. With disadvantage.
Man, this guy's crunk.
10 off the rip. Fizzi, you walk in, and Kayth's chair is there. Pretty sure he's still sitting there.
Okay, good night.
Just
And
bam!
he's just gonna, like, in stuff, I'll just face down on the bed.
Nice. That happens. Okay. Let us pan back to our forest friend. Kayth, you struggle a bit out in the forest, trying to find some bearing, but it takes some time. However, eventually, you will trance, fall asleep, whatever you'd like to call it. But as you drift off into your trance, the familiar weight of guilt presses into your chest and pulls you into a vivid and visceral dream. You stand upon a grand platform in an elven city, surrounded by elegant towers and gleaming spires bathed in the cold, silvered light of the moon. The city is pristine, shining in its beauty, but the streets below are too empty and too quiet. In the silence, a procession of immaculately armored elven soldiers march past in their precise formation. There should be fire and pride in their eyes, but instead, there is only emptiness. The eyes that meet yours are hollow, lifeless. Their boots strike the ground in unison, but they make no sound. They move like phantoms, advancing silently into the darkness that encloses the city. You turn to those at your side, your commanders. Their faces are set in cold, approving stares. And then, behind them, you feel his presence. He steps forward, his voice a mere whisper on the wind. We've shaped a perfect world, haven't we? Look upon our glory, a world where the weak kneel beneath the strong. The soldiers move toward a distant village where defenseless people wait in terror. The despair and fear in their eyes is unmistakable. You're desperate to move, to scream, to stop what's about to happen. But your body is frozen and you do nothing. The soldiers descend upon the village. They seize the helpless and drag them away. You turn to your commanders for help, for answers, but they only nod in grim satisfaction, as though this is what they were always meant to do. In a swirl of panic and smoke, the scene shifts. You're no longer watching from the platform. You're in the burning village, among the elven soldiers. Blood coats your hands and stains them with the burgundy tint of murder. You don't remember drawing your sword, but it's there, heavy and dripping, the blade wrapping in the dark, inky tendrils that wrap around your wrist, binding you. The fires roar and swell, swallowing you. When the flames recede, you are not alone. Villagers, their skin melted and slipping from the bone. Soldiers soaked in red blood and twisted. Shadowy figures encircle you. They surround you. Their faces nearly obscured, but with their burning eyes entirely fixed on you. Their voices creep into your ears and chill you to the bone.
You stood as we burned.
An elven face, hiding behind a mask of honor.
You raised these walls of blood.
Do you hear them? Those who call you betrayer.
Your silence was our sentence.
You who claim to protect are the true shadow.
You try to scream that you didn't want this, that you didn't do this, but no words escape your throat. Beside you, his hand lands on your shoulder, his quiet laughter slicing through the night. You didn't stop it. You didn't stop me. You did nothing. The ground shifts beneath your feet. Ash and bone swirl around you, the remains of those whose lives were crushed by the plans you furthered. Even if only through inaction, our feet sink into the still, smoldering coals as you are dragged down. Above you, shadowed eyes, heavy with accusation, fix on you with silent judgment. As the cloud of death and pain rises around you, your breathing grows shallow. You stare down at yourself, at the blood-stained armor of an elven soldier, and a reflection you know all too well stares back at you. It's your own face, twisted in condemnation, as the soldier raises his sword to strike. You gasp and beg. Then, just before the ash consumes you completely, the world fades into suffocating darkness. You then wake, heart pounding. The weight of the dream still presses down on you. A cold, aching realization dawns on you. Some pasts, some deeds are impossible to outrun. As the morning light begins to shine through the forest. What do you do, Kayth?
Kayth stands up from his sort of crisscross applesauce position on the ground. Looks into the coals of the ashes of the fire that he started last night.
You sort of get a quick glance as you look into the coals of your dream. Continue.
He'll pull out his journal and he'll just give out a long sigh and try to go out into the woods and see if he can scavenge any like berries, anything to make like a small tea for the morning, trying to get his mind off and trying to ground himself into like what he remembers growing up.
Okay. For this day, Kayth, for any skill that you are proficient in, you will have -1 for the day. So Kayth, as you go out to do those things, you can give me a survival check.
16.
Nice. And as the morning comes for the rest of you, I will need your choices for your lifestyle expenses, please. So if you could,
I forgot I'm broke.
if you could, please spend the appropriate amount of money for the appropriate daily expense you'd like. You obviously can still spend it because you're like right next to Tapas. So you still need to spend your daily expenses. Everybody please go ahead and do so and put it in the chat.
Where can I find that again?
It would be under rules, but I can also go ahead and put it up for you. Be under world knowledge, then rules, then daily expenses.
There it
Thank
is.
you.
No problemo.
So remember, none of us used our haste last time.
That, however, does not carry over to the next day. It would have happened for the next thing, but it didn't happen.
Just gonna do a gold piece, DM.
Sure.
Yeah, same with Fizzi.
Okay.
Oh no.
Fizzi, if you could please, you're the first one to put in your gold piece. You are awakening for the day. As you do, you notice that you are the only one in your room. What is Fizzi doing?
scratch his head, look around, like, make sure, like, Kayth must be down there. Get his stuff and get ready for the day before he heads down.
Okay. Moss and RaRa, because you both are in the same room. I got a gold piece from Kayth, gold from Fizzi, gold from Moss. RaRa, what are you doing?
I'm gonna message DM.
Gonna message me. Okay. Well, Moss, you will awaken, and RaRa either is or isn't doing her morning stretches.
Oh, 100% doing the morning routine.
Okay. Moss, you awaken to RaRa doing her morning routine.
I'll just walk up and try and join where she is, but really badly. To the point where it looks like Sable is probably better than me at this.
Dude, Sable's like, tisk, tisk, tisk. Doing the stuff, like, very smug about it as you clearly suck. RaRa, you see this.
I'm gonna try hard not to tell her that she's screwing it up.
Okay.
Just be like, you gotta arc your back more in that stretch. You're bending wrong if you do it more like this.
RaRa, I'm just trying to spend time with you in silence.
Okay.
Okay. Still continues to do it just as bad.
Nice.
I just don't want you to hurt yourself, because if you do it wrong, you might pull something.
I try and do it a little better.
You do it not any better. So, the three of you are at the Sailor's Rest and will eventually all leave your rooms to head downstairs. At gold pieces, huh? I don't know what that costs us.
Keep looking and
So
you'll know the truth.
2 gold pieces for RaRa. Okay. So the three of you will eventually head downstairs in the Sailor's Rest. While that is happening, Kayth, you are still, well, I would assume at some point after you've sort of gathered yourself a bit as best you can, packed up your stuff, is Kayth heading back into town? What's he doing?
Yeah, I'll take his time, but he'll head back in town.
Okay. While that is happening, RaRa, Moss, and Fizzi, you all will eventually make your way downstairs and see the three of each other. Sure, that makes sense.
There's 4 of us, DM. You're forgetting Sable.
Oh, you son of a... And there was Sable.
RaRa would probably notice pretty quick, look around. Sort of spin up to the bar.
Actually, you'll notice that Marin's not behind the bar right now.
It's his day off. He gets a day off.
Oh my god, Marin's gone too. There's a rash of kidnappings in the Sailor's Rest.
From behind the bar and shooting up, you hear, "What? No, I'm not. What?
Oh my god.
I was just.
I thought you were kidnapped too.
No, I was just under the counter.
Oh.
Is there anything cool under there?
Yeah.
Supplies, I guess.
Have you seen Billy Jack, Bobby Joe, Steve?
Who?
And I lean over the counter. Kayth.
Oh, no, I didn't see him yet today. I have to assume maybe he's still in his room.
No. Billy Bob Joe Jack Steve's not upstairs.
All right, I'll just go with it. Okay, then no, I have not seen Billy Bob
Joe Jack Steve.
Jack Steve. I haven't seen him yet today, no.
RaRa spins mid-Marin trying to explain. Oh my god, guys, the salty daggers have kidnapped him.
What if it's a shattered coin?
When we split up,
You guys maybe notice? What's passive perceptions?
14.
14, 14,
12.
12. RaRa and Moss, would you? You notice there's other patrons here. Not a lot, but a couple who, like, when you start saying the salted daggers and the broken coin, like, some of them go, what? And Marin's like, you guys certainly have quite the experiences lately. Maybe don't go shouting them about.
One melon, please.
RaRa's face. All right, coming up, RaRa, and he'll go get you.
I like walk back to the table, like eyeballing everybody that was looking at us.
So as you walk away, he literally just went under the counter, pulled it out, and he's like, "Here you go, RaRa."
I turn around, I do the same thing back to the bar.
Hands you the melon.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Do the same thing back to the table. Now with the melon.
Like, some people looked, but most of them went, like, back to what they were doing, and a couple of them may be like, what?
Do they look more like inquisitive or guilty?
Give me an insight check.
check.
Guilty of mean mugging.
Oh, not bad. 16.
Yeah, almost all of these people are guilty of neck breaking. Necking.
Oh,
They're just-
okay.
Yeah, they're just
Nosy.
Well, I mean, you go into the middle of a bar and you're like, criminal organization, and people are gonna be like, what?
RaRa sits down with her melon and cracks it open, and she looks over the top of it at Fizzi and Moss. Oh my god, they're here to kidnap us.
I've actually been looking around at the crowd, and I think they're just nosy. Look at that guy.
Both are very, very...
You look over and there's a guy. What's he look like, Moss?
He's just fucking... He got drool coming out of his mouth. He's just... staring at us. He don't know what the... He's been there since last night.
You see this man.
You think that's the one that kidnapped Kayth?
No, I think that guy is dead.
You actually see him, and it's like,
I think that guy's dead.
but then all of a sudden he goes,
Oh my god, he's not dead.
wipes away all of, like, the mucus and drool, and he's like, another man. And Marin's like, no. And then he, and then hits the counter. So
Did you see him get kidnapped?
I could have sworn he was in the room last night, but I...
Oh my god, they left you and took him.
Oh, God.
It
Why
was
would
a
they do
targeted attack because he's an elf, and they heard us talking about elves.
RaRa is like hyperventilating. Nightmare.
Okay, they kidnapped him. We gotta start.
We've got to make a list. Somebody gets a paper and some charcoal. We'll start writing down names.
Sable has paper and charcoal that he acquired from that passed out man.
So there's the salty daggers,
Just the shattered coin.
shattered coins. Didn't he say something about some bloody hands or something?
The bloody hand. Maybe it was a bunch of people racist against elves.
Do we just have to put like ghosts in general, even though the ghost wasn't real?
What if it was an owlbear?
And it wasn't an owlbear.
Yeah, we probably would have seen an owlbear.
Yeah, an owlbear's huge. And he would have probably killed you too.
Oh, yeah, it's probably true.
Moss, you went up to talk to him, right?
Yeah, he asked me to
Did he
leave.
say he was? Oh my God, he knew, and he didn't want you to be in danger.
You're kind of making sense.
So, which one of these groups did you do the most damage to?
Me?
Uh huh.
None of them. I
What'd you
didn't really.
Moss equally embarrassed and damaged all of them.
Sure. I mean, Kayth killed some of them.
Right. That's why they targeted him first. But
Right. That makes the most sense. What do you think they're going to torture him or something?
maybe they're ransoming off to all the old enemies he's always worried about.
I don't think his enemies would pay a ransom.
Maybe he's secretly nobility.
Maybe he's off stealing things.
You mean like Prince? Like Prince, Billy Bob, Joe Jack Steve?
I don't know if he would just be out stealing things. He usually doesn't miss morning tea.
That's true,
Very
actually.
true.
Yeah, this is bad.
Am I down yet?
I think we should start panicking.
Okay,
You're right.
So,
We need to alert the town guard.
Oh, we get to post a bounty, and then we can take our own bounty and solve our own case.
oh my
I
god.
think we would just pay ourselves.
Okay, during this conversation, Kayth, you are headed back into town. On your way back in, you know, I have to imagine that the headspace of Kayth is not awesome. As much as you sort of put yourself together in the forest and came back in, just the sort of mere walking into the town sort of gave you a bit, maybe more of another flashback to the dream. But as you walk in, you know, you're not awesome, but you're holding it together. At least on the inside. As you walk in, you will hear someone who is complaining. As you walk in, you hear, oh, wait. Damn it! Oh, I knew it. Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it, damn it! And you look over, and you see this small halfling who is currently, like, kicking the side of his cart, and he's like, he's real upset, and he's just like, and then he folds his arm, and he's tapping his foot. Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Would you like to keep walking, or stop and talk to the person?
Is he kicking his cart? Is that what he was doing? Sort of?
Yeah, like a coach kicks dirt at the umpire.
He's frustrated.
Can I help you out with anything, friend?
Oh, he snuck up on me there, and he turns around and looks up. I don't know. I mean, I guess if you can go and hunt down a missing item and maybe slay some goblins.
Yeah, I probably could do that for you.
Seriously?
But you seem to be in luck.
My
name is...
I was actually kind of half joking. Are you serious?
You can call me Steve.
Well, how do you do, Steve? I'm Geralt.
What was your name again?
Geralt? Geralt.
Geralt.
You can call me Ger.
Geralt?
Geralt, or you can call me Ger. Well, I guess I should explain a little further. I didn't actually expect you to help me. I'm a little caught off guard, but, he looks over at his stuff in his cart. Are you from here?
Do I look like I'm from here?
No, that's a good point. No, do you know about the festival happening?
Yes, I'm aware of the festival.
Okay, great. All right, this will be a little easier. Okay, so, during the festival, okay, no, you've never been to one. You just said that. Okay, anyway. During the festival, there's this huge... Well, we put a boat out in the middle of the dock, and we build this really big, like, it's a really big sculpture of... I don't know how old you are, if you knew about the terrible incident that happened south of here, where
The mummy invasion.
This guy
yes,
Burning Man.
the mummy invasion. Yes. Well, during the festival, we, in remembrance of that horrible incident, but also brought lore together of what it is today. We celebrate it by putting a boat out in the middle of the dock with a huge sculpture of a mummy, and we burn it. However, we like to make it look more real, or when it's dying, because, usually when, like, things like that die, they glow, right? So there's a very special powder that gets added to the statue, so that when it burns like green and, like, red and, like, different colors, to make it, like, look mystical. However, on my way into the city, I was attacked by a couple of ransacked, dumb, stupid goblins, and, well, actually, they didn't really attack. Alright, fine, I was taking a smoke break, and I wasn't really paying attention, and they jumped up onto my cart, and they took the chest, and they ran off with it, and I couldn't stop them.
Outside of town or inside?
Outside of town. I was sort of coming in on the trade road, and it actually wasn't too far out of the city, which is what makes me even more upset, is that I was, like, I don't freaking know, like... less than a mile away from the entrance, and then I saw them run like south.
So, how much are you? What's the reward?
Wow, getting right to it. You don't just want to help an old merchant man in his struggles.
Yeah, I thought you said
for
it was
a great
job.
I mean, I didn't say job, but I guess if you're going to haggle, I mean, we kind of really need it for the celebration. I can't take that into account and just be a good community citizen. No, I didn't think so.
I mean, I have other jobs. It's what I'm saying is there's undead attacks outside of the city. Me and my party was about to go out and find them. So it's what I'm saying is, like, if I'm going to take time to find this, like finding magic powder or like helping end, a possible another mummy attack,
All right, fine, I understand. You're gonna need some money to grace the wheels here. Okay, I get it. Give me a second. And he'll, like, get into his cart and struggle to sort of get in, and then starts rifling through, like, a bag. All right. If you're able to go out there and you're able to find it, I'll give you 10 gold.
Okay. I walk away.
Wonderful. Thank you, Steve. Oh,
No problem.
You can find me in the Grand Plaza after you finish.
Sounds good.
As you're, like, walking off. Thank you! And that's it. You will walk and head to the Sailor's Rest. And right about that time, you guys are currently in your, like, oh my god.
This is bad. We should panic.
door to the Sailor's Rest opens, and you guys all look at the same time as you see Kayth.
Panic over, I found him.
RaRa takes her arm and just swipes everything off the table.
The melon.
No, all the stuff that they were writing. Like all the where's Pepe.
Okay. You do that. There's a loud crash. Kayth, you see this.
You working on a conspiracy there?
Nope.
Is that what's going on?
Where were you? You missed tea time.
We were solving your kidnapping.
We figured it out.
Just had some things to do in town.
Were you gonna tell any of us?
I didn't know I had a curfew.
You've never gone missing before. We didn't know we had to give you one.
Yeah, we thought you were dead from Salty Blades.
Yeah, you were always the one who was like, we have to room together. Everybody build pillow walls so you don't touch each other. You may not have said that part, but you said we had to bunk together because it was dangerous, and then you just disappeared, so we assumed the worst. Look at all these notes.
That is very impressive, Detective RaRa.
Sable took most of them. It doesn't mean anything.
There are a lot of paw prints on the board.
Well, I'm glad to know if I ever go missing for real, that I'll be well at hand.
Moss feels very confident right now.
Do you want to find some magic powder?
Does it go home?
Do you mean like the powder they used to have at like the high roller parties back in the city?
No, like for, more like color exploding magic powder.
Exploding!
Oh, like show powder.
Yeah, apparently the festival uses it on a giant statue they burn of a mummy each year. And it got stolen by a few goblins.
You'll see Fizzi get kind of excited. You mean we get to find the powder used for the mummy? And he just starts shoveling his food in.
I forget. This is probably something that Fizzi has heard of but never been to before.
Mm-hmm.
Goblins are like small.
He would be
orcs?
excited to see it because of fire and explosions.
Right?
They're not really like orcs. They're
Mini orcs?
more chaotic than orcs, I find. Orcs
What about-
I don't know.
What about So, is this like on the way too?
DM, where would this be? Outside the map?
You
from
didn't
where he
even
told us?
ask, did you?
No, he told me.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, they ran into the woods over that way.
South.
Correct. He said less than a mile from the entrance, they jumped onto his cart, stole the chest, and ran south.
Which is on the way, I guess, right? Everything was south.
Yeah, the Darkwoods are south. But the
Yes.
Darkwoods is longer than a mile, probably, right?
The Darkwoods is longer than... Yeah, if you do the measurements. Because, remember, it's going to take you basically 1 day to get to the Darkwoods. And then the Owlbear is pretty close. It's just outside the city.
Yeah.
Which would be potentially around the area that these goblins might be. If you were to decipher, like, the direction that you were told.
Bef-
But it's up to you.
Before,
You know, there are many options.
We should probably speak to the city guard captain about the undead before we leave as well.
Yeah, because I thought that was our main goal. We were going next, right?
Yeah. And then the farmers on the left.
Why? I don't understand why that's necessary, RaRa.
Isn't that how you eat a melon?
I take the other half of the melon and I pull a tiny spoon out of my bag and I scoop out.
Well, I think that's just wrong. I think that that's not how you eat melons at all.
I have to agree.
Okay, so let's go talk to the man about a horse.
We have a mule.
We do have. I was kidding. I meant let's go talk to him about the quest.
Sounds good.
I was joking. I meant this. Okay. So yeah, you guys are currently at the Sailor's Rest. And you guys want to head to...
Talk to the city guard captain about the undead.
So you're looking
And
to head
my-
to the... Go ahead.
And my complaint.
Ah, I figured.
And yes, the complaint.
Yes, the complaint. Yeah. Yep.
you forgot about that, didn't you?
I know. No, Moss went to bed and wasn't there because remember you guys were in pretty early.
Oh,
And he said by the end of the day, so he may have shown up and you weren't there. So
Marin!
that's right.
yeah,
Marin!
yes, Moss, yes, Moss.
Did anyone come by yesterday? I went to bed kind of early.
Right, you're waiting for a complaint thing.
Formal complaint, Marin.
Yes, you're right. Formal complaint. Yeah, I think, hold on. Got kind of crazy last night after you guys went to bed. Let me go looking. He starts, like, searching through some things, goes underneath the counter, and... Oh, I got it. I got something right here. And he comes up, and he's like, all right, here you go. And, he's got a letter, and he hands it to you. I hope that's, I hope that's what you're
I
looking
rip
for.
it open.
Oh, well, okay. You rip it open, and you...
Guys, this is my first letter.
No, you
Oh,
guys
cool.
just got a letter.
But this one is to me.
That is to her specifically.
You're right. You open the letter, and in it, it's got the regular mumbo-jumbo at the top, but says...
Dear Moss, the most beautiful half-elf druid in the land.
Does Moss say that out loud?
Yep.
Oh wow, one of the guards has a crush on you.
Maybe?
What the letter actually says. Dear Moss, thank you for your formal complaint, as we were able to investigate your
Uh-huh.
incident that occurred
Uh-huh.
earlier today in the marketplace.
Uh-huh.
The guard responsible was
Uh-huh.
found and reprimanded
Uh-huh.
for what he had done. He is very apologetic and very sorry for what he has done.
Uh-huh.
You will see a formal apology letter along with this one. You'll notice that this is 2 pages. Along with that, he will be docked pay for the
Aw.
following day.
Oh, just one day.
Yes. Thank you so much for helping keep the streets of Tapas safe,
Now
and
you just made
keeping
another
the
enemy.
city guard accountable. And then the second page is an apology letter from the person who did it. And it says, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to do it. The situation was chaotic. It was unfortunate what I had done, but I feel remorse for what I did. Please accept my apology. Done.
I have a family. I have kids to feed.
I put the letter in my pocket.
You do that. You guys.
Well, let's go. I got my first letter.
All right. You guys are heading to the barracks, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
What's the
You
weather
guys-
like this morning, DM?
Yes, as you open the door to the city of Tapas, it is a bright, sunny day. As we, excuse me, we are now in our third day of our adventure. Do any of you know what the date is?
Tremblous.
Actually, I
Stop it.
might.
Nobby.
I might. Hang on.
So session 1 was Sunday.
Monday. That was the next day.
Who
Oh, I
dey?
just have Mondu. So-
Okay. Do you have a guess of what that would mean
Tuesday.
then?
I think we're on Wednesday.
Tuesday.
2 day.
It
Now.
is. It is Tuesday.
Hell yeah, inspiration for May.
Tuesday. But can you tell me what number it is?
Yes, actually. Hang on, I just exited out of the app. I can.
Okay.
For
go
real,
ahead.
for real.
Go ahead.
I just have to go into my star finder notes.
Sure, that makes sense.
Oh man, it's gone. I just had it up and now I lost it.
Damn.
I think it was like the 10th on Monday.
Today is Tuesday, the 31st day of Penner.
Guess it wasn't.
Oh, that means it's almost time for the Tapas fair. Terrific fair. Tropic fair.
Terrific fair. Terrific fair. The celebration is the 2nd and 3rd of Akil. And there's 34 days in Penner. So if you do the math.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway. So you guys are, you open the door to this new 31st day of Penner on Tuesday to a bright and sunny morn. It's probably, oh, you guys had to wait for Kayth to get there. I'd say maybe 8 or 9 a.m. The sun is just arising and it's gleaming off of the waters. You're watching as people are starting to get their daily routines together. Stalls are starting to open, and it's probably a nice, warm, I'd say 74,
Ooh, it's a warm day.
and it's gonna get hotter.
Summer DOS is almost here.
It's the 31st of Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 31st of Penner.
Got it.
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Why did you do that to me?
It's just like,
Why'd you
Got
do
it.
that to me? Anyway. Yes, you guys are headed into Tapas. And you will head towards the barracks where you will find the city guard. So, let me... So, as you guys approach the barracks area, you guys had started to go there before but never reached all the way. But as you approach, you will start to hear the early morning exercise routines that the city guard that are currently stationed at the barracks are doing. So you hear a lot of clashing of like swords and shields, and you'll hear the swiftness of arrows, and even some spell casting, all sorts of things, as the barracks are lively with the city guard training up.
I immediately wander away.
No.
Oh.
Immediately.
Okay. Before you, as you guys enter into this district, you will see the
I look at-
large...
I look at Kayth and Fizzi, and I'm like, I bet she's going to find her crush.
You guys will see the large barracks tower, which stands actually as one of the tallest buildings in Tapas. You're looking at about a... well, as Builder Fizzi, you look at it and you're like, holy crap, is that like a 15-story building? And then the three of you look at it and you're like, oh my god, that's
big.
Tall. Kayth, you look at it and you sort of look at it as a reminiscence of the towers in Trum. And it is very high. And you see the large barracks tower. Off to your right, you will see sort of a large field area where all of the training is happening. It's quite big. It's kind of like the equivalent of let's say like a large university's like athletics department. But you know what? Actually, let me do this in field size. I'm gonna call it
That's
1,
so
2,
big.
3, 4.
Not all of us play fantasy football.
It doesn't. Probably about 3.5 football fields.
That's big.
Yeah, about 3.5 football fields. You know what? Let's say closer to 3. I don't want to get too generous. 3 football fields. But it's all entirely surrounded by 3/4 of it is surrounded by a stone wall that actually connects to the barracks, and then the front side just has like wooden fences, and that's how you guys are able to see into it as you guys are entering into like the front area. Over to the left, you see a bunch of smaller buildings. You have to assume that that's maybe where like maybe facilities to be, you know, if there's someone injured, or a mess hall, or maybe like a library specifically for the barracks, that type of stuff. So all that's like to the left. And maybe also where some housing for the city guards are, if there's any specifically here for people who do like overnight shifts, that kind of stuff. But this is everything that you see as you make your way into the barracks district. And Moss has ran right off.
Like a small child, I am wandering away immediately. I'm going towards wherever I hear like the spell casting coming from.
You go to where you said where the spells are being cast from?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you'll head over to an area. It's you know, I'd probably not close to the barracks. It's probably on the furthest portion away from the barracks, or just not like furthest, but it's further away than most of the other trainees, because the magic so the casters sort of need a little bit more of an area. But yeah, you'll head over there. You'll be just beyond like the fences. You don't go in, and you'll notice that there is, let's call them maybe instructors. They look like teachers from your clan.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of them, and a couple of people who definitely look maybe either like trainees or people who are like, you can see, because you've seen spellcasting and sort of like training of it. Some of these people definitely look new, but better than you. And some of them look definitely more expertise. As you watch them beginning to cast some spells, like you watch one of them sort of spin their hands around around one hand in a circle, and then they sort of, this energy starts to create like 3 lines of white mist. They then grab those lines from their palm and then chuck them outwards as these 3 like arrow looking magic things send out and hit a target. 1, 2, 3. And you will see another one who will be reading from a book, and they will be chanting something, and then they extend their hand, and you watch as like this blue arcane energy goes from the book up their arm, through their chest, and out the other hand, and you will watch as a bunch of like tendrils grow around. Sorry, not tendrils. Yeah, let's call it tendrils. Vines, thank you. Vines grow around one of the like dummies, and you start to see more of that kind of stuff.
So I don't give a shit about the people who are spellcasting from a book. I'm solely focused on the people who just are doing it from within themselves. And I've taken out a notebook. I'm watching them so intently. I'm watching their stances, their breath control, their everything. And I'm just trying to identify where they draw their power from. And
Nice.
I'm just going. If nobody finds me, I'll be here the rest of the day.
All right, Moss is doing that. The rest of you watched Moss run away, and RaRa was like, she's finding her crush. What are the three of you doing?
Well, I think RaRa starts to listen to the training. She starts to, crash, step, crash, step. Starts to minor illusion a beat to it.
Nice.
And it's starting to put together a routine based on what these guys are doing with their training.
Okay. Moss, give me Arcana check. RaRa, give me maybe a performance check? You're writing some. Just give me a performance check.
Raw. 18 on the die.
Wow, raw 18. Raw 18. So raw. Kayth and Fizzi, what are you guys doing?
I'm following Fizzi's lead because he knows military people, and I don't want to be here.
I am looking for Captain Darius Helm.
Okay. You would know that in order to go see Captain Darius Helm, you would have to enter into the barracks tower, which is easily doable. So then Kayth and Fizzi are heading into the tower. Let me go ahead and bring us there. All right. Nope, that's not really what I wanted, but it worked out, I guess. All right. You guys will be brought to the barracks tower. Inside, you will see a couple of city guard who are, you know, kind of going about their business and things like that. And one of them will come up to you, obviously recognizing that you are not from here, but not in a way that's like, you need to leave. Just a way that's like, like, looks like they're trying to be helpful. They'll come over. Hello, is there something I can help you with?
Hi, yeah, Fizziwick Fizzbang here, looking for the, your captain, Darius Helm. I just have a few questions about the quest they posted.
Oh, you're adventurers. All right, well, yeah, just head on over to the captain's quarters. If he's in there, it should just be unlocked. Sorry, if he's in there and not busy, it should just be unlocked. If he is busy, it'll just be locked, and you might just have to give it some time. If it's completely open, then he's actually probably not there.
Thank you.
No problem. You'll head over to the door, and it is closed.
Is the door locked?
You will attempt to open the door.
I will knock first and wait for an answer.
You knock, and you do not receive an answer.
Is the door locked?
You try the door. It is locked. And right as you test the door, you then hear a as the door unlocks and opens. And out from the door, you will see this woman open the door and walk through and almost run into you. She's quite tall. Looks down. Excuse me. And
All right.
She'll step aside and she will leave and head down the hall. She will then disappear. The door is now open, however, as you are holding it and it's unlocked.
Walk in.
You walk in, and sitting behind a large desk, you will see Captain Darius Helm. As you walk in, he will look up. How are you? How can I help you?
Oh, well, thank you. We're just wondering about the roving your undead quest. What kind of undead are we talking?
Oh, I see. You guys are here for the new quest that was just posted. Yeah. You see him sort of take a double look. Fizzi, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's nice to see a friendly face. And he'll sort of look around in his papers and stuff. All right, yeah, I've got some reports right here. Let me go ahead and take a look at this. So you guys are thinking about heading out to the dark woods and seeing if you can take care of the undead that's out there then, huh?
All right.
You're very brave adventurers. He'll start looking through. All right, he'll put it down. So, the reports state that some of our hunters who had headed out into the forest to procure what they were able to for the weekly hunting, they have come across... Well, we've got a couple of different things. We have skeletons, zombies, ghouls, basically just traveling in a large pack. At first it was sort of random encounters, however, the last report was probably the most concerning and what made us take this a bit more seriously. And that specifically they were walking in a pack, unified towards the city. Before they had just sort of wandered, but now they had gathered in a pack and started walking towards Tapas. Our hunters would have tried to take them themselves, but they were not equipped for the situation. When they were maybe one or two, yes, but reports indicate that there are upwards of 6 to 10. A mixture of skeletons, ghouls, and zombies.
Was there reports of any weird colors about them, like in their eyes or around them?
Let me take a look. Other than their usual foul stenching, nothing really to indicate any sort of aura, just, like I said, the usual stench of undead. Which honestly is a little unusual. We haven't really seen any undead around Tapas in quite some time. Actually, I'd have to say... since sometime before the Restoration. That's why at first we weren't quite sure that they were real, but after the last report came in, there's definitely something out there.
And you're sure it's not a necromancer or something?
No, we're not sure. It's actually something that we hope the adventurers would investigate. Or
Do
at
they
least
see
try and find out.
anyone walking with them, or just the undead?
Reports indicate just the roving group of undead. Like I said, they are on their way to Tapas. Adventurers can hopefully go out there and take care of this before they get close to the city, but if they get too close to the city, the guard will have to try and take care of it with as much minimal property damage as possible and no damage or incidents with the citizens of Tapas. But if we can have adventurers head out beforehand, you guys, that would be fantastic.
Alright, well, we'll come back with some results for you.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Is there any other questions you have for me?
No, I don't think so. Captain. Handshake.
He'll extend for a handshake. Thank you so much. If you're able to find anything out or take care of the problem, please return and we will give you your reward.
Aye. Come on, Billy Bob, we gotta go.
And he will go back into what he was working on. As you walk out, he says, please shut the door.
I'll close the door behind me unless Kayth is, or Kayth is the last one out.
Yeah, I'll close the door.
All right, you will close the door. The two of you will leave and head back outside, I presume?
Yes. Because we would be looking for our other party members.
Yes, you guys will head outside, and as you do, you will see RaRa currently performing like something. Like, it's weird because there's not a beat, but for some reason there's a beat, and then it sort of recognizes in your head that she's dancing to the sounds of the training. And she's just having a good old time. You guys would then see Moss a bit further down, but like sitting on like a barrel with Sable and just furiously writing, looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down.
What you writing?
I'm trying to learn that.
You see as people are casting spells.
Do you think they'll teach me?
They might.
Not unless you want to sign a contract for the next 4 years.
I don't. I don't understand. I can stand like that. I can breathe like that. It just doesn't do anything.
I wish I could help, but I've never been very magically inclined myself.
Well, do we know where we're going?
We do. I'll tell Moth everything the captain told me about the skeletons and the zombies, ghouls, all together. But there were no reports of the what seemed like what was with the rats.
You all get that information.
This seems like a bigger hero type deal.
It's just 6 to 10 enemies. It's not a big deal.
On their way to the city. That sounds bad.
I've fought undead before. I will be fine. As long as we're smart, we'll be good.
Okay. But before we go, I want to watch them do this one.
Alright.
You guys look and you watch as one of the casters, who no book or anything, he sort of stands in like a very strong pose. He has both of his legs sort of spread out and firm, and he's sort of crouched a little bit, and he sort of starts to like flex a little bit downwards, and he starts to bring both of his fists together, and then he's gonna put them together right in front of his stomach. Then once he does, you're gonna see him sort of very quickly switch to palms. Then he's going to push his hand forward, and you are going to watch as like the ground in front of him sort of almost looks like liquid, as a large like shock wave of the dirt and ground sends out from him forward about 40 feet.
I can actually kind of do that one. Okay,
With,
let's
like,
go.
Your actual body, or
Yeah. I don't like the way... I'm serious.
I'm serious.
I'm serious.
let's go.
Kayth ushers you all along out of the
I can do
barracks
that
district.
spell, Kayth.
Well,
I
just
No,
believe
no.
you.
No, we that's
all right. Well, you guys will leave the barracks district and start heading outside of Tapas, I believe.
Yeah, what'd you guys figure out? Oh, we need to buy supplies. We do that.
You guys do need to buy supplies. So like I said, it is, in order to get to the dark woods, it is going to take a day of travel, meaning a day out there and a day back. So that would be 2 days outside of, well, technically a day, because you would make it back to the city on the second day. So you would only need 1 day's worth of daily expenses and supplies. First of all, you're going to need to be able to feed your mule. In order to feed your mule, it is, I think it's either, let me double check, I have it. Rules, travel. It is, it costs 3 copper a day to feed a mule. So, you know, buy as much of that as you need. And then for you guys, traveling wise, you have to decide how much you want to spend in supplies that you will need for the day's travel. Or if you want to buy more than 1 day's worth of travel expenses or supplies, because you are potentially doing more than one quest. Who knows? You just have to make that decision and let me know what you're doing.
We still started with starting kits, right? So we have
Depends
like
on the
and stuff.
person.
I have rations and water skins and bedrolls and tinderbox.
Yeah, I have 1 day of rations as well.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
that just means, yeah.
So RaRa will buy a couple of extra supplies while they're getting stuff for the mules.
Okay.
Case of ale.
Okay.
Are you old enough to buy alcohol?
Case of melons.
Case of ale and a case of melons.
Mm-hmm.
All right, brother. Give me a moment. I gotta get those prices for you. Let's see.
Do you want me to just keep listing things?
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you're just gonna type them all down. All right, that's fine. Case of ale.
Yeah, what is that like? Well, it would be actually like a mini keg. Probably would be more accurate to like medieval times. You wouldn't get individual bottles.
Right. Yeah, it would get like a keg with stuff in it.
So like, nah, I don't want like a big ass keg, like a mini keg.
A mini
quarter
keg,
keg?
he says. A quarter keg?
Quarter keg.
Quarter
A
keg?
growler?
Growler?
A small case of melons. You know. So if we each choose to eat one on the way there and the way back, we could. 2 loaves of bread. Pound of butter.
All right, let's see. Well, definitely not that. That's way too good.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
My machine.
He does sound different. I don't know what happened.
Is that fixed?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's see. What does Fizzi eat?
No. Whatever.
I don't know. Whatever. Alright, let's see. Let's do...
Are you rich?
Would 5 gold cover that, DM?
What is happening? This isn't what I want. It's 2... Yeah. 5 gold will cover that.
Okay.
You do that, good sir. Good madam. You do that. RaRa buys all of those supplies, and I assume brings them back to the cart.
I'll have them delivered, yeah, to wherever we're working.
Nice, okay. And what are the rest of you doing before heading out?
I'll tip the delivery man a copper.
Okay, you do that. They are like, thanks.
I bought my provisions.
Got your provisions, okay. Busy Moss?
I'm just hanging out.
Nice.
Pretty baller.
Yeah, Fizzi would be like working on his gear and making sure his weapons are in good condition.
Okay. All right. The 4 of you will reconvene back at the mule and cart, and will start to head out of Tapas. Please, can you tell me the arrangements of how you all are taking this mule and cart out?
So RaRa's putting the last of the supplies in, and she looks up at Kayth, and she's like, "Is this enough? Like, you've done this before."
Is there like an equivalent to what she bought? Is it like that's a days of travel or 2 days? Probably more than.
It's a lot of
A
food.
pound of butter?
Well, she did 5 gold's worth. So if we do that all as normal, which that all looks like normal food, nothing like, oh my god, it's like aristocrat. I would say that is 5 days worth of daily expenses. Now, however, that technically would be for each of you. So for RaRa,
I bought stuff for all of us, DM.
Yeah. Then she probably bought enough that would last all of you 2 days.
That looks good, RaRa.
Yeah,
Thanks,
for
RaRa.
like all day food, all day, whatever you need. Yeah. Before our adventurers head out on their first adventure outside of Tapas, we're all going to go ahead and take a nice bio break. Get your peas, your poops, your food, your snacks, your whatever you need. And we'll be right back in like 5 or so minutes.
You're the only snack I need, DM.
Oh! Don't leave your screen.
Shut up.
Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle Eagle. We're
Older and Dumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to all our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew, be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
Go Dipshits mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of older and dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black.
On my stand! Fade to black!
Hey everybody, we are back from our little poopy pee-pee bio break and snacky poos. But before we get back into the action, a few wonderful words from Joey.
Alright, first off, wasabi peas fuck. Get you some.
Yeah.
Second, November 9th and 10th, Twin Tiers Comic-Con. Come out and meet us in person if you'd like. We're going to be at the Drink and Draw. We're going to be at the show. We're going to be hosting panels. Big fun time. good time to get to meet us in person if you're excited to do that. Also, be sure to, if you need to catch up, like if this is your first episode and you need to catch up live, sub here on Twitch. That way you can get access to the VODs and catch up. If you just want to go back and watch the old content, though, and you're good not watching live, we are posting these on YouTube every Saturday. You can sub there, ring the bell, you'll get notified when we post them. And finally, you can support us on Patreon if you want better content and more content and us to do more crazy things. That's the best place to do it. As low as $5 a month gets you started.
And that was our wonderful words from our sponsors, Older and Dumber.
Everyone say thank you to the art boy.
Thank you,
boy. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump right back into this wonderful adventure. So, right before we left off, doing our bio break, the four of you were jumping on with the mule and cart and heading out of town. Please tell me the arrangements of how you guys travel with the mule and cart.
I climb up into the seat.
I want to roll up.
There's not a seat on the cart. It's just like a cart.
Oh.
Silly.
You climb into the cart.
Climb into the cart. Okay.
I want to walk next to the little muley.
Fizzi would probably sit on the small keg of ale.
So in the car on the keg.
Yep.
Okay.
Is there a tarp around? Is this a covered wagon?
It's just a regular cart.
Regular cart.
Moss is walking next
Covered
to
cart.
little.
Sorry, not a wagon.
Walking next to little muley. Kayth, what are you doing?
I'm probably in the cart reading a book right now, currently.
So then Moss is guiding little muley?
I don't know where the fuck. Sure am. I'm
Okay.
guiding little muley.
Nice. Yeah, Sable's like up on your shoulder, looks over at the mule. The mule. Just continues. So yeah, you and little muley are walking out of town. So the rest of you are just hanging out in the back of the cart, and you will leave this wonderful city of Tapas and head into the forests just outside the city. Let's go ahead and jump over back to the map, shall we?
Is
So-
the farmer on the way that we need to talk to, or no? I don't remember.
On the way.
So the farmer's land would be outside of the Tapas city walls. He could be essentially on your way.
I mean, if not, that's okay, DM. I'm just wondering.
Let me get a little sort of some lines going here. So obviously you guys are in Tapas, right? You guys can see this little thing, right? I would say the farm is probably over here somewhere, like 8-ish miles from Tapas, just a little bit out here. And then where he knows the owlbear is just down here, and then obviously the dark woods are down here. So it's up to you on how you guys would like to accomplish this, or what it is you're doing.
We're just talking to the farmer, right?
We're going
Right.
to the owlbear? Are we doing
I mean,
that?
we could just wait and hit it on the way back.
Okay.
I was thinking we
would
hit
go
that on the way
wait.
back. Do we want to find these goblins first? Do we want to find these goblins first?
We should find these goblins first.
Before we
Good.
get too far out of town?
Who knows how to track a goblin?
I look at Moss.
Why are you looking at me?
Haven't you lived, like, it's your entire life?
Yeah. I haven't tracked goblins, though.
I mean, wings still kind of hurt, but I guess I could fly up and like look down.
I mean, you've followed tracks before.
What do I roll?
Survival.
Probably survival.
Oh yeah.
I'll
It went
hop
from
up
an
in.
18 to 5.
I was gonna offer. Okay.
Moss, you're like, okay, fine. Go out there.
I guess.
Find
Nothing
nothing.
here.
You don't really know what you're looking for.
I have a plus 4
we
in
Go
survival.
south about a mile. Try to take a look for any tracks. I'll try to look for any tracks of anything on the road or like leading away from town as we're walking. Hiya.
Oh, yeah. So, the four of you will venture out south of Tapas and try to look for the goblin thieves. Kayth, as you're looking out and trying to find any sort of evidence to what it is you're looking for, you unfortunately don't find any sort of evidence here to help you find the goblins. There is just vast open area. There is a little bit of forest on your way, like a couple of areas of trees, but mostly open area as you are heading south. You can see what is the dark woods way in the distance, but mostly open land. There's some farms, but after past those, you start hitting like valleys and creeks and hillsides and small areas of forest as you head south.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll just try to keep a lookout. And continue towards the undead.
Can I roll again once we get a distance away?
I would
Just to
allow
keep
for
an
something
eye.
like that. Yeah, you guys can travel a little further, maybe about another hour or so, and you can give me another survival check.
I will help her.
Okay.
Are we like on a main road or?
No, there is no main road towards the Darkwoods. There is just like sort of padded down, created paths. Nothing that's like formal. It's a lot of like just regularly traveled area. So like little cobblestone paths and like just like battered down grass, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled bad. Again.
You guys continue to hopefully search for something or any sort of evidence to where these goblins might be. You're not quite sure. Nothing really stands out to you yet. You guys will be heading over a bridge that goes over this large waterway, and you will start continuing south. You are passing the area of where the owlbear is known to be, and you can continue passing that or stop. It's up to you. As you guys look around, the water sort of like goes into like these downward areas where you potentially see like more rockier streamed areas.
Could I look around here for those goblins?
It's essentially a new area. You guys can certainly look around.
Would anyone like to help me? I have a +0.
Do you want to?
Sure, I'll help.
RaRa and Fizzi on the case.
Thanks, RaRa.
I have a +4 and
come
I've
on.
just been rolling like dog shit.
That should have been a 16.
You have... Okay. You will notice in this area, again, not really any evidence of goblins that you can think of, but you will notice in this
dead fish.
You will notice in this area that there are quite a bit of small dead animals. There are some areas where there are piles of small dead fish. You actually will find the carcass of a pig, and bones of an animal you're not sure of.
Guys, we shouldn't be here.
Do goblins eat fish?
Let's try to find the things that did this.
It is the owl bear.
Find that later.
With an investigation check, you could try to find out what did this.
Can I roll a nature?
You could roll a nature.
Investigation?
Yes.
Nature girl.
Kayth, you're looking it over. Jeez, these things are fucking mangled. Moss, you look at it, and you can tell by the bite patterns and tearing that this was a large animal that did this, and has the same consistency of eating as a bear, but the ripping of like
An owl?
of a bird.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think we should leave. Now.
All right.
Yeah, this is definitely an owlbear.
Let's stealth past.
Stealth pass.
You can do that with a mule, because they're slow. Then yeah, you guys can roll stealth checks.
I need someone to roll a 20 to
13.
average it out. Ah!
Oh god. All right.
Change of plans, party.
Does anyone want an inner monologue?
I'll inner monologue. Not really though, because I don't really care. You should
Okay.
inner monologue.
It doesn't matter. We're a party. We failed together.
You guys are like, we really should be quiet. And you're all like, okay, fine. You all get back in the cart, or, you know...
Do
Moss is
goblins
leaving.
eat whatever this is?
RaRa picks something up. It's another, like, dead animal. And when you pick that up, RaRa, you actually end up, like, hitting a stone, and it, like, tumbles down, and then towards the river, it, like, for some reason, hits a jump, and then slams into the stream. Smack! It makes a loud sound, like when you throw in a flat rock into water, as water goes into the air and splashes down. And it just rings.
But that's down there, so we're safe, right?
That was pretty satisfying.
Let's go. Go, 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 go.
Yeah, we should go.
Moving, hauling it.
You guys start moving and hauling it as fast as the mule will go, which isn't very fast. But you guys will, you know, come on. And eventually you will make it out of the area. But as you leave, you do hear behind you sounds from the river. Some sort of like swishing or slashing. But you guys leave the area. And you will continue to head towards the dark woods. You guys have made a lot of survival checks, so I'm really not going to have you make much. You guys will start to head down south towards the dark woods. You will not reach it today. So night will come, and you will have to create camp.
Where's the inn?
I think we're making camp.
RaRa, we gotta make our own inn.
I've already started setting up my tent.
We're gonna sleep outside?
Of course.
With the owl thing?
Oh,
I thought you didn't believe in owlbears.
RaRa, we'll keep watches so we'll know if something tries to attack us. It will be fine.
In the dirt?
You have a bedroll, don't you?
Yeah. It's gonna get dirty though.
That's what your tent is for?
Do any of us actually have a tent team?
Nope. I
Yeah.
looked.
What?
Nope.
What do you
I
mean?
looked. I have a bedroll. I don't have a tent. Do
I
you have a
think
tent?
Kayth has a
I
tent.
have no
I
time.
have a 2-person tent.
Kayth's the only
Well,
one with a tent.
Two on watch, two on sleep. So we
I
could
only
use the
need to
tent.
sleep 4 hours. How do you
Guys,
guys not have a tent?
I came here on a boat.
Tent's not a basic, like, gear thing.
Don't you just sleep upside down in a tree anyways?
Motherfucker.
Wow. Fizzi likes to look at the stars.
Guys, we have a
Oh,
lot of food
yeah.
here. That owlbear seemed pretty hungry. Is there any way we can, like...
What we do is this, and I gather into like a little piece of cloth I have. I tie it together with some of the rope, and then I throw it over a branch of the tree, about 50 yards from our camp.
What are you throwing over a tree?
The food.
Okay.
You don't store your food in camp. You store it high in a bag. When there's bears about.
Bears about.
Owl bears. Are we supposed to see something, DM?
I knew that you probably wouldn't be able to see it because there's too much movement. I figured. Oh, can you wait? Can none of you see anything?
No, we can't see anything.
Uh-huh.
We see our names.
I hear a campfire.
How about now?
See it, yeah.
There it is.
Oh.
RaRa would use the melon case as a seat. I assume Fizzi is using the ale bucket again as a seat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna sleep next to the muley.
It's a little muley.
Mm-hmm.
You
Moss.
can do that.
Yeah?
Were you raised by an elf?
My mom is an elf.
And your mom was around when you were younger?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lucky.
Elves aren't elves aren't bad. They just the main populace of the elves were manipulated by a group into a war, and then they got greedy and liked the war. But not all elves bad.
But everyone thinks all elves are bad now.
Yes.
Not everyone. Like, my parents did, but that's because they, my grandparents were involved with the war, so.
I don't think all elves are bad.
Was there any... what's the word I'm thinking of? Repercussions for the elves.
I mean, the elves aren't even in control of the capital.
Fair point.
And, I mean, the old kingdom, the old nation is gone. It's splintered off into subgroups.
Some elves are bad.
Yeah.
And then I start walking towards the little muley. And I set up my bedroll there.
All right. Moss will set up next to little muley. Is there anything people would like to do here at camp before resting?
Everyone hears super loud guided meditation.
That'll keep the owlbear away, actually.
If that's how your
I'm like,
mother
"The fuck
taught you
you
how to
are."
do meditation, I don't think she taught you right.
No, this isn't my mom. This is my dad.
Oh.
It's louder.
Human.
RaRa looks like at the cart and Kayth bagging up the food, and she's like, "Does somebody knows how to make this, right?"
Aye.
Okay. I've never really cooked for myself, so.
Oh well. I learned. Have grown up with 4 brothers and no parents. We kind of had to learn to cook and feed ourselves.
No parents.
4
Well-
brothers.
Not 4 brothers. 4 brothers total. Me and 3 more. And yeah, our parents, they loved us, but they're always out looking for the next thing to make them, more famous.
They were adventurers.
Inventors.
Oh. So they were just too busy, like, making things? Why would they have 4 kids? Like, my parents were busy all the time, but I was an only child, so, like, kind of makes sense. They screwed up the first one, why try again?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know, but all I know is that, me and my brothers, we depended on each other and, had to learn to cook somehow and can't eat raw bacon.
Ugh.
Bacon, I got that one. I don't eat bacon at all, but I saw you eating it.
Have you tried it?
I don't eat meat.
Oh. Well, you would like this meat. If you ate meat.
Moss, do you have siblings?
I have 2 younger siblings. They're twins. A statistical anomaly, I hear. And then I have 2 older siblings.
Nice.
2 girls, 2 boys. And me.
Are they druids too?
Yep. Except they're, real druids. They know how to do things.
You mean magic?
Yeah.
Have you ever just tried, like, feeling it?
Yeah.
Do you like stare at a cup across the room and
I can cast spells. I
which
just
ones?
can't do it well.
You'll get there.
Thanks, Fizzi.
I mean, it's always just come naturally to me, so.
You see Sable sort of get underneath your arm and then like kind of nudge it upwards.
Thanks, pal.
I didn't mean that
You
to.
don't need magic.
All I meant is, like, it's never been hard for me to learn, like, so I don't know how that feels.
I know what you meant. It's okay.
Moss.
Yep.
You don't need magic. Is there a reason why you want it so badly?
I feel very connected to the idea of magic and nature and the world around me. And I feel something missing. And I don't know what that is. But I'm on a mission. I'm on my own adventure. I'm gonna find that part of me.
That sounds like a good thing to do.
Thanks. Do you have siblings, Kayth?
I don't know if they're alive anymore.
When was the last time you saw your siblings?
Before the war started, I think. Yeah.
Like 50 years ago?
Pardus War was that long ago?
Well, hold on. Let me think.
It's more like 80 years ago, right?
No, it's more recent than that. I'm 18. And it was like 10 years before that, and then it was like 10 years long. So like almost 40 years.
Huh.
Wow, it must be weird to be an elf.
Can be sometimes. Some days it feels like it was just.
Moss, do you live long like that too? Do you know?
Yeah, I do, but not yet. I'm not gonna stop aging quite yet. It's kind of weird to think about, actually. I'm gonna outlive my dad.
That's a weird thing to say.
Human?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not really. You'd expect your dad to die before you. You know, because he's older.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but the rest of us are just gonna.
Yeah, no, I get that. You know, we don't live as long as you guys, but still.
How old are you?
Fizzi. Oh, shoot. Fizzi would be like 36 human years. That was what, like 100 and something, Hunter?
I
95.
think it was
95. So I'm like 95 gnome years old. But I would look to be like 36 in human years.
you're 95 years old.
Aye. Don't look a day over 93.
You've lived almost 8 times longer than I've been alive.
Wait until you hear how old I am.
You're like 500, right?
I was gonna
Oh.
guess 3.
250.
Whoa.
I was the closest. I win.
What do you win?
What do I win?
Hey, are you actually old? You have to tell me, Moss, if you're actually old too.
I'm not old. Just kidding. I'm 103.
I fucking
I'm
hate
just
this.
kidding. Do you guys think the owlbear is gonna come and kill us all in our sleep?
Wouldn't you be
No.
the expert on that?
Yeah, it's totally possible. So you better sleep with one eye open. And then I lay down, put the blankets over my head, and go to sleep.
RaRa looks at the tent. And then she starts looking around at the trees to see if there's like a tree with a nook in it that's like a good enough size to put her bedroll in.
Give me a luck roll.
I don't have that yet.
It's time to get your luck score then.
Let's go.
I didn't roll any luck scores in Starfinder.
Yeah, you weren't very lucky.
Whoa! RaRa is though.
19. Not bad, not bad.
Ooh-wee.
19 luck score for RaRa. All right, roll me a D100 and add or minus your luck score.
Let's see. That'd be 9 and 7, 16. So that'd be 66, 76. I'll take a 76.
Yes, in one of the nearby trees, you do find an area where you could put your bedroll.
All right. I go over and I take a closer look at it. Do I feel like it's out of whatever this supposed bird creature's reach is?
Does RaRa know the size of a bear?
I don't know anything.
RaRa doesn't even believe in the
I don't know
owlbear.
anything.
If you hide in the tree, there's no way it could get you.
Obviously.
I set my bedroll up in there. First, I make sure there's no bugs.
There's bugs.
I
Eat them.
shoot them. I shoo them away.
They go.
It's very.
You
I
think?
press to digitate the area to make it hot so that the bugs don't like it and they go away.
Okay. Yeah, you do that. And then you think to yourself, am I a druid? No way.
No.
Quiet.
That's just some basic, just some basic bard knowledge.
Yeah, you create a nice place for you to be able to sleep. Fizzi and Kayth.
Is it our watch?
It's nobody's watch yet. Everybody's headed to bed. I don't know what
Going
you
to
guys are
bed.
doing.
I'm trancing in my tent.
Nah.
Kayth
Well,
goes
I guess
into his-
I guess Fizzi will take first watch.
Kayth goes into his tent and trances. Fizzi, you will take first watch. Please tell me, for your first watch ever, Fizzi, how do you keep watch over your camp?
Fizzi is going to.
Moss knows.
Moss knows what's up. Fizzi wants to find a good stick. And kind of hang on to that for no apparent reason whatsoever. Just
All right,
you can do lots of things with stick.
Give me a survival check for stick finder.
Oh, fuck.
You got a hard legacy to live up to. Oh,
I do.
No.
You
gonna be a
find
bad stick.
find a stick.
I'm going to pick up the
You
stick
find
and I'm going to bring it back.
All right.
And I am going to brainstorm ways on how I can make this stick better.
Wow. Okay. That's how you keep watch.
Yeah, I'm going to. So, I'm going to just, think and kind of keep watch and look around, play with a stick,
I'm going to say that because you are focusing on the stick and playing around with it, that it will be your passive perception, not an active perception. So what is your passive perception?
12.
12?
12.
Okay. Fizzi, you... Messing around with the stick, you're doing whatever.
Like, oh, I could add this to it.
And
what if the stick exploded?
a good 3 hours or so passes, and you're like, oh, it's the end of my watch. What do you do?
I would probably go and wake up Kayth.
He only needs to transfer 4 hours.
So I should take third watch.
Okay. Moss, because she is closer, and Fizzi does not want to do anything with trees.
Nice. Moss, you are awakened by Fizzi.
It's my turn.
Your turn. Oh, here's the stick.
Oh,
Fizzi
thanks.
hands you a stick. It's, well, at its base form, pretty kind of not good stick. But it, like, has stuff added to it somehow? Like, what are some things you added to this stick?
I would have added, like, cool, like, designs on it. I would have put my little, I would have etched my little signature in it somewhere and have, like, a cool design on it and be like, yeah, this is a pretty cool stick.
So what would essentially be a pretty, like, you know, lackluster stick is a lackluster stick with carvings in it.
It's got flair.
It's got flair. It is not a
35
walking
feet
stick.
Flair.
And it's probably like no walking stick. But it's a stick. Fizzi gives that to you.
Cool. I have this. Thanks. It's pretty cool.
Hey, no problem, Moss. Enjoy your watch.
I am going to grab a melon, open it, feed some to me, feed some to Sable, feed some to the little muley, and I'll just keep watch.
You do that. Please roll a perception check.
Mm. 18.
Let's go.
Moss. You set up on the log or on the edge of the cart? What'd you say?
On the log.
On the log. You sit on the log. You guys are eating your melons. And you see Sable go, like, tap you for, like, you to look. Do you look?
Yeah.
Sable goes. You guys are on the log and you're chilling and you're just looking out, you know? Life is different than home.
Mm.
But the one thing that stays the same is the sky. And you find yourself looking at it for a while, watching some of the nighttime clouds. And then you sort of start to listen to the breeze. You watch the trees sort of dance. And you hear the sound of nighttime creatures. And you start to feel like you are feeling something. But you don't know what it is. What does Moss do?
I guess she'll kind of do a personal inventory, see if she forgot anything, see
So you
see
like,
if everything's all good.
so all this has happened, you go, Sable like starts to help you look around. And by the time you've checked everything and looked, everything's accounted for, the moment seems to have passed.
Hmm.
And you just go back to sitting down on the log and looking around and watching over your party. And you will notice creeping up to your cart as Sable pats you on the side of the head and is like, shows you. You see a small creature, army crawling, towards the cart.
This.
How far away is he from the cart right now?
Let's do this. Do you see this little green square?
I do now that I zoomed out. I'm going to throw my melon crust. What is that called? Rind?
A rind, yeah.
I'm gonna toss it at Fizzi, and then I'm gonna to wake him up, and then I'm gonna kind of try and get. I want to hide pretty much under the cart and wait for this little creature to get closer.
Fizzi, you're hit. You've been hit. You look around, and you watch as Moss is climbing under the cart.
I will grab my little buddy and kind of crawl towards her.
Please give me... Are you trying to be quiet? Are you trying to be quiet, Moss?
Yeah.
Stealth checks from both of you, if you are.
Holy fuck.
This is the quietest Fizzi has ever been in his life. You hit the ground and you're like crawling, and Moss is so astonished by it that you just have to tell him.
Wow, Fizzi, you're so quiet.
And when you do that, you hear...
He doesn't know it. I'm going to walk back and sit on my log and pretend to be looking out again.
Fizzi, you have crawled over to the log stealthily. What are you doing now? As you see Moss sit back down on the log.
I'm kind of like...
Fizzi is going to go this way and see if he can see what Moss is looking at, or
You will notice, peering his head up from the little bit of tall grass here, a little goblin head poke out and is like staring at Moss. Sees Moss is sitting down and then goes back to continue crawling towards the cart. Army crawling.
Which way is it
I can still
crawling?
see him, right?
I mean, you're looking away technically, but...
Is he in my peripherals?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I have spells. Could I cast light on the goblin?
Do you have to touch a thing to do that?
Let me see. Oh shit! It is a touch.
Damn. You got the touch. But you don't, actually.
So when he gets to there, I want to pop out and be like, "What are you doing?"
All right. Moss, you don't know Fizzi's plan. Do you know that the goblin is right next to the cart?
I'm just gonna keep sitting and assume, since this motherfucker was quiet for the first time in his life, that he's onto something.
The goblin gets to the cart, stands up next to the wheel, climbs the wheel, gets just over top of the cart, and you hear... and starts reaching for some stuff.
What? exactly is he reaching for?
You don't know exactly what he's reaching for. Fizzi would probably know exactly what he's reaching for. Fizzi, you see him reaching for closed things that you wouldn't know what's on the inside. The things that are open that obviously like is the melons that are obviously there, the like, mule feed, that stuff. But any like closed boxes or bags, reaching for those. Starts like,
could I? So if I do that, would I get a surprise round?
he
Like,
does
can I go
not
up
know
and
you're there.
bonk
You
him?
currently would surprise the goblin with whatever you do because it has no idea that you are there.
Could I? Actually, I do actually want to change what I'm doing. I'm gonna try to sneak around and bonk him for some non-lethal damage on the head.
Looking to bonk him, huh?
Yup.
Yeah, get over there and give him a little bonk. You have advantage. Go ahead.
No. 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 Shh. Oh, no, that was my stealth. Hang on, I'm gonna have to do it normally.
Fizzi got something. He cooking.
Plus
cooking.
4.
Cooking.
He cooking. He cooking.
You cooking?
I was
He
waiting
cooking.
for him to pop out so I could just pop out and be like, what the... But he's
He cooking. Whoa.
gonna kill this man.
It's a non-lethal damage.
So that'll hit, but you have advantage, so you can try and get a natural 20. So 22. That'll hit. Give me some damage with your
Oh shit!
my little
So
buddy.
I'm not that it matters, but I forgot that I imbued my weapon.
These
So I have a
trees are
plus-
moving.
So it's a +1 to hit, so it's 23.
Yep.
Yeah,
Is
they're
it?
moving with the wind, Moss.
Whoa.
Oh, it's attacks and damage.
Oh. Give it.
So that is 1d8 plus 2, because that is factored in, I believe. Because I did it through Roll20.
Okay.
1d8 plus 2.
You take my little buddy and you bam right on top of the goblin. It takes 4 points of non-lethal bludgeoning damage, and it goes and he just starts screaming, and that would probably wake Kayth and RaRa. And
Can I
that
run and
that is where we will end tonight's session of Coralthea.